Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you watched my previous video, I went through how to get an allocation for a Porsche 911 and which 911 model you should get. But I've also forgot one important point, or important points, is what options that you should get when you're building or looking for a lightly used 992.1 Porsche 911. So in this video, I just want to go through my thinking process back in 2022 when I was building my Porsche Tiger 4 GTS manual back in COVID. What my thinking process was, what options I got, and what option I would definitely get if I get another chance to build another car. So without further ado, these are the top options that you should get for your next Porsche 911. So if you're interested, let's take a quick look. So first off, why do options matter? So I don't know if you're really familiar with the Porsche brand. Back in 2022, when I was building my Tiger 4 GTS, I was not familiar with this brand at all. And when I was going through the order guide, let me tell you this, everything, and I mean everything, is an extra option. Heated steering wheel, comfort access, memory seats, everything that you can think of is an extra option. If you're familiar with like Audi, Benz, or BMW, any other manufacturer brand, there's packages that will actually bond all the stuff together. Let's say if you get a tech package, you would get better sound system, you would get blind spots, you would get head-up display, you would get top view camera. Not for the Porsche brand. Everything is a separate option. So the question comes, why do options matter so much? Porsche 911, you're buying the car for the car, correct? So imagine you got your dream car, everything is good, super duper nice, drives really, really well, but it doesn't have options like heated steering wheel, blind spot monitors, top view camera, backup camera, front and back sensors. This would really kill the driving experience. When you do finally get your dream car, of course, even for me, I would say, oh, I would never sell this car. It's the best car in the whole wide world. What if you suddenly get a GT3 allocation, but you have to trade your car in? What if something changes? What if you have to move somewhere? Like, there's a lot of what ifs in life. So if that happens, you might have to sell your car. You might have to trade in your car. That's why options matter too. Things change, you never know what happened, but here are some options that I think that we should get for your next car. No matter if you're keeping it or if you're selling it, in the long run, like it really helps for resale value too. Option number one, LED matrix headlights. So when you look at a person or when you look at an object, the first thing that you will see is its front. For the cars, it's the headlights. The regular headlights, it's okay. It's not the best. LED matrix headlights improve visibility and safety, especially on dark, winding corners. Plus, they give the car a more modern, aggressive look. Option 2, performance upgrade. Believe it or not, every Porsche 911 buyer wants the Sport Chrono Package. It's a no-brainer. This gives you a more dynamic engine mounts, a performance display, and you got a really cool, iconic stopwatch on the dash. And let's not forget, it'll give you the drive mode selector on the steering wheel too, perfect for a quick adjustment on the fly. And this is a no-brainer. Every buyer, reseller, whatever it is, wants the Sport Chrono Package. If you're just buying the base 911 and you're kind of tight on budget, I definitely recommend this package. Option number 3, PASM, which is the Porsche Active Suspension Management. Keep in mind it's only available in S or GTS. It basically dropped the ride heights by 10 millimeters. If you want the perfect balance between the comfort and performance, PASM is a must, right? It adjusts the suspension in real time too, making your 911 look just like a bit more dynamic, and especially if you go on track days, it just makes it that much more lower to the ground for a more dynamic driving experience. Next up, premium package. Again, this is only included in the S and the GTS. So way back then in 2022, the premium package, to me, I think it's worth every penny. It includes things like the memory seats, blind spot monitor, upgraded leather, Bose sound system, top view camera. If you do get the PDK, it does come with the adaptive cruise as well. And back then, you can add the heated steering wheel at no cost as well. Trust me, you will appreciate this every time you go in your car. You might be the only one driving it, but it's just one day somehow your friend wants to drive it or your spouse wants to drive it, and they actually change your perfect seat position. Trust me, for guys like us, the perfect seat position takes a long time to adjust, and because if you don't have the memory seat button, the adjusted, you probably take hours just to like get your perfect seat. If you're buying a Porsche 911 already, why don't you spend like 4 or 5 grand extra just to make sure your every drive is as perfect as possible? Next up, front axle lift, and it's available for all cars. I did mention this is a must-have option in my previous video, and there was a huge debate. To me, I would say it's a huge must. Thankfully, it's available for all cars. You might go into the underground parking and the slope is actually very steep. There might be some speed bumps that's very high. You might go through some drag loops, like you never know. So for an extra 2,000 or 3,000, I believe, I think it's a huge must, because every time you scrape your front lip, it will definitely cost more than 3,000. That system is got a GPS sensor too. So it actually memorizes where you lift it. So when you go back into that area, it automatically raises your front. So honestly, I think it's a must-have. The next must-have is sport exhaust system. I know some people saying they don't want a car to be that loud, but trust me, the 992.1, especially the 992.1, even with the sport exhaust on, is not loud. Trust me, it is not loud at all. Again, it's just good that in case if you do sell it in the future, that's a must-have to get. The sport exhaust is not just about the sound, it's about the soul. To me, it really amplifies that flat six growl, and just like it'll give you some sound. So, and that's what a Porsche 911 is. It's a sports car. There should be some sound. Next up, please upgrade your fuel tank. For $260, it upgrades your fuel tank to 84 liters. I think it's an absolute must. If you're going for the Carrera T, if you're going for the lightweight package, then okay, you can bypass this. But honestly, if you're just getting a daily car, or even if you track it sometimes, I do think it's a must. It's just, to me, I think it's a huge must. 260 more, I think it's a no-brainer. Next up is the rear axle steering, again, only for SGTS. To me, this is a game changer. It really makes the car more agile at low speed and more stable at higher speeds. When you're going on track, I think it really does help. If you're going for the lightweights, the Carrera T, it's good that they don't offer anyways. It is a bit heavy. I believe it does add around, I think 80 pounds, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, to your car. So you do feel the weight, but it does make your car really more agile, especially if you're parking or whatnot. The Tiger 4 GTS, because the car is so heavy, if you can get this option, I'll definitely recommend. It is the lightweight design package. It basically reduces the weight of your car. Basically, they put the windshield is pretty much the same, but the windows, they actually make it a bit more thinner, and the back window, they make it a tad thinner too. If you live somewhere cold, let's say Canada or UK, just be really careful, because the differences of the temperature might make it crack. So just be really wary of that. Last but not least, the PCCB, which is the Porsche ceramic brakes. Hear me out. I know there's a huge debate too. You might not always track, but the PCCB to me is a huge must. Back in 2022, there was a stop sale, so I can't really get that. But honestly, if you have a light color rim, especially silver or that golden color one, you must get this. Honestly, the brake dust is horrible from steel brakes. So thank God, because my rims is actually black, it's not that noticeable. But if you have silver, gold, or any light color rim, it is a huge hassle. Only thing is, if you live somewhere cold, let's say Canada, UK again, wet, damp, or cold areas, you might need to warm up a bit before the brakes actually take effect. So if you're driving it in a cold or damp morning, just hard brake it a few times to actually warm it up, just in case it locks up. But honestly, if you can, do get the PCCB. It just saves you so much hassle for cleaning out the brake dust. Of course, those are just the top 10, but there's some honorable mentions too. Another thing that to get is the heated steering wheel. Again, I know some people is gonna be like, oh, it's my track day weapon, whatever. Honestly, it's $300, just get it. You never know, you might be driving on a cold day. Trust me, you will wish that you actually have the heated steering wheel. Ventilated seats, some people want it, some people don't. I kind of went over that too, but back in 2022, if I do get ventilated seats, I can't get the GTS stitching at the back of my seats. That's why I forgo that. In the 992.2, you actually get bucket seats too. So if you're looking, not just daily driving, but if you're looking for a track weapon, definitely this is something to have too. Burmeister sound system, honestly, I think the Bose is good enough. If you're really into music, that would be good too. Another option for me is really important is the manual transmission. I know for the 992.2, it only comes in the Carrera T. So unfortunately for the newer gen, T is the only one. But if you're looking for 992.1, basically a lot of them would have it. I'm pretty sure, but let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below. Honestly, the manual transmission transmission is a dying art. It makes your 911 that much more engaging. If you want to know why I am dead set of a manual transmission on a Porsche 911, I'll leave a card right over here. If your budget allows, I definitely recommend getting PTS and the color stitching for your interior car. Hear me out. I did get the yellow stitching in my car, and every time someone sees the interior on the car, all I get is compliments. You get red stitching, white stitching, blue stitching, but that's just kind of normal. I just really love my yellow stitching, especially with the black interior. It just kind of pops out. And if you do have the budget, getting a PTS is honestly the best thing to do. It just kind of like, it'll make your car stand out. If I do get the chance to get a GT3, I'll definitely get paint to sound. So let's talk budget. I know sometimes we're all working within a budget. If you don't have a budget, good, tick every box, right? But for some of us, we want to be within a budget, no problem. These options, I think, is the must-have. So it's the Sport Chrono Package, Sport Exhaust, and the front axle lift. To me, I think that's the absolute must-have for your Porsche 911. Everything else is just icing on the cake. But if you want to keep your car in the budget, those three, I think, is an absolute must. Last but not least, everything that I've stated above is from my personal experience. It suits me, it might not 100% suit you, so just definitely use it as a guide. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments down below. Honestly, after my car for GS for 2.5 years, every option that I get, thank God I got. Only option that I regret not getting is the PCCB, but back then there was a stop sale, so there's not really much I can do. If I would choose again, that would be my only thing to get, the PCCB. So at the end of the day, building your dream 911 is ultimately about making it yours, whether you're a track enthusiast, a weekend cruiser, daily driver. The right option, honestly, can take your Porsche 911 to the next level. Do let me know if I've missed anything, and then if you can build one, or if you have the 911 coming, what is your build like? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button on. I'll see you folks in the next one. Have a great day.